Facing an unabating pandemic, very poor, abysmal poll numbers, and an economic slump, the fake President Donald Trump has made a series of media appearances this week where he appeared deflated and resorted to fear-mongering, repeating falsehoods, and employing racist and sexist stereotypes in a rambling, incoherent answers. In the absence of his Klan rallies, Trump has utilized friendly media interviewers and the White House briefing room podium as a stage. The raucous, adoring crowds he so thrives on replaced with a small group of socially distanced masked reporters, but in the televised appearances he's lacked his usual vigor and animation. He's appeared tired and visibly hunched, veering into bizarre tangents and mispronouncing words. Meanwhile, the U.S. reported its highest number of coronavirus fatalities since May on Wednesday, with the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Director Dr. Robert Redfield warning of the worst fall from a public health perspective that we've ever had if Americans don't heed the guidelines. But rather than use his platform to advocate for mask wearing and social distancing, Trump largely glossed over the pandemic, briefly advocating for the reopening of schools during a roughly 40-minute Thursday morning faux news interview. Trump painted a dark dystopian picture of the United States under a potential Biden administration Thursday, warning of a world without cows or any form of animals. If he wins, you're going to end up with a disaster. Well, Trump, the joke of electoral college put you in, and look at the disaster you fucking caused. He claimed of Democratic rival Joe Biden during a wide-ranging phone and appearance on Fox News Thursday morning. He called out the Green New Deal, which he mistakenly referred to as the New Green Deal, as something that was drawn by children. Trump claimed on Thursday that if Biden is elected, there will be no fossil fuels, which means basically no energy, and warned that cities would need to be rebuilt because it's too much light gets through the windows. Let's rip down the Empire State Building, no airplanes, fewer cars, and suggested they don't want to have cows. They don't want to have any form of animals. The Green New Deal does not eliminate any cows, but it does call for government to work with farmers and ranchers to eliminate pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. But beef is responsible for 41% of the livestock, and greenhouse gas emissions accounts for 14.5% of the total global emissions, according to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. While his campaign and media allies have attempted to draw a contrast with Biden and his newly announced running mate, California Senator Kamala Harris, with a series of specific shots, Trump offered little in the way of fresh, on-message attacks, instead touting his 2016 electoral victory, and using barely coded racist and sexist language in multiple appearances. Sort of a mad woman, I call her, because she was so angry, he said of Harris on Thursday, minutes after tweeting that she was mean and condescending to Biden during the primary. Trump was unable to articulate a clear vision for what a second term would look like when pressed repeatedly by Fox News anchor Maria Bartiromo, instead mentioning some tax measures and going after senators who don't support him. We're going to continue cutting regulations, he said, touting his payroll tax cut as a very positive jolt to the economy, which technically does not show that, and then vowing to do a capital gains tax cut to 15% in the second term. In the same response, he warned that Republicans could lose the Senate because some senators don't support him enough. He said, you have a few people that want to be cute, and I think they're going to lose their elections, and that's a problem for the Senate, he said. Trump has touted the economy, highlighting stock market gains and minimizing the bleak reality of a double-digit unemployment, which comes as Capitol Hill negotiators have gone days without talks for a much desperately needed second stimulus package. He continued to sow doubt in November's election results, saying that Democrats' request for additional United States Postal Service funding are holding up the stimulus talks. No, it's not. They want $3.5 billion for something that'll turn out to be fraudulent. That's election money, basically. And there's no proof to any fraud being committed during voter fraud, anyway. They want $3.5 billion for the mail-in votes, universal mail-in ballots. They want $25 billion for the post office. Now they need that money in order to make the post office work so it can take all of these millions and millions of ballots, Trump said, falsely claiming that the mail-in voting would be fraudulent, which, yeah, because they're already proven that there isn't. While multiple members in his own administration have vocally condemned China's crackdown in Hong Kong, including the arrest of activist and media mogul Jimmy Lai, Trump, who frequently ties Biden and other Democrats to socialism, missed an opportunity to advocate for Hong Kong's democracy, instead saying that the U.S. will make billions and billions more in the absence of economic incentives for the country. So what does it mean for the United States? It means that our markets are going to make a lot more money, he said, adding that Hong Kong's markets will go to hell. Trump also went after his own FBI director, Christopher Wray, and appeared to pressure Attorney General Fat Fuck Barr to influence John Durham's investigation of the Russia probe with a rambling response. He called on Wray to be more forthcoming and warned that Fat Fuck Barr has a chance to be the greatest of all time, which technically, no, he won't. So if you liked the video, give the video a like and subscribe to my channel, Random Mike, and also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out, and thanks for listening.